One of the coolest neighborhoods in all of San Francisco with the deepest cultural threads is the Haight District. Now, this place has such a unique vibe with incredible shopping, the best thrift stores in the city, and I mean high-end thrift stores, incredible restaurants, culture, access to Golden Gate Park, and a mix of renters and owners. So if a lot of that sounds appealing, then the Haight District might actually be for you to live in. So today we're gonna dive into everything that you would need to know before making a move. The trends, the lifestyle, the commute, the cost of living. But before we get into that, a quick and fun fact about the Haight District. So the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood, no surprise, played a huge role in the 1967 Summer of Love movement. It was the epicenter of the hippie movement, all kinds of cultural trends, drawing artists, musicians, and free spirits from all over the world. So the story and the reputation actually are a match. Now, I mentioned at the onset of this video, this is one of the most iconic neighborhoods in all of San Francisco, where the proximities of history and culture all intersect. The first thing I want to do is define where does Haight and Ashbury as a district and an area actually start and end. But before we get into that distinction, my name is Arjun Dhingra. I welcome you back to this YouTube channel and appreciate you watching this video. I've been in the mortgage industry and space for 24 years and have called the Bay Area my home for the last 20. It would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to this channel, but more importantly, if you liked this video so that I can reach more people with neighborhood videos like this one to help them make better decisions about whether or not they want to move to San Francisco, and if they do, what neighborhood are they actually going to want to live in. If you ultimately decide that you want to move to San Francisco or you're renting here and would eventually like to purchase something, me and my team would be honored to help you with anything that we can in this space. So please reach out to me on Instagram at Arjun Mortgage, where you can send me a DM and I will answer it directly myself because my phone is with me at all times. And again, I'd love that opportunity and privilege to be able to work with you or guide you in any way I can. Now let's get into today's video. So this neighborhood is divided into two actual areas. There's Haight-Ashbury and what is called Upper Haight. Haight-Ashbury is east of Stanyan Street and is most known for its historic counterculture and beautiful Victorian homes. Now Upper Haight is closer to Golden Gate Park. Larger homes, quieter streets, and you'll see more families and owners on this particular side. Now as of last month, March 2025, the median rent for the Haight-Ashbury area was around $29.50 for a one-bedroom apartment. Now, this is still pricey by national standards, but compared to neighborhoods such as Cal Hollow Marina, it's much more affordable. Now, if you are looking to purchase a home, you can expect to pay about $1.9 million for a single-family home and $1.1 million for a condo. Now, while it is expensive, it is a lot more accessible than neighborhoods like Noe Valley or Pacific Heights. So who lives in the Haight? It's not just hippies, is it? No, in fact, it is a lot of younger professionals, artists, longtime residents, and a lot of entrepreneurs or business owners that work from home. Now, the median income is $140,000 for those that live in this neighborhood. Now, that's lower than some other pockets or areas of San Francisco, but it's still much higher than the national average. Now, similar to the marina, a lot of people who make under that median income still can make it work and live in the Haight District. You'll see a lot of rent-controlled units, co-living arrangements, and those multi-bedroom apartments split into areas where people can be packed in. Now, because this area is rich with Victorian homes, you'll see a lot of these beautiful Victorian buildings converted into multi-unit rentals, making it much more accessible for shared living arrangements. Now, there's also a lot of longtime residents, in fact, more in this neighborhood than any other neighborhood, that have been locked in and grandfathered in with rent-controlled rates. So you'll hear stories of people paying literally 3 digits in rent in this neighborhood because they've been there forever, and quite honestly, they're probably not going anywhere. A quick fun fact about this neighborhood: Janis Joplin, the Grateful Dead, and Jefferson Airplane all lived in this neighborhood during the 60s and were a huge contribution to its legendary music scene. Okay, so speaking of scene, what's the vibe like here? I will tell you that the Haight still retains a lot of its hippie era charm, but in such a cool way with so much character. Colorful murals, vintage stores, again, some of the most high-end vintage stores, and record shops, one of my favorites being Amoeba Records, are all in this neighborhood. I will tell you from personal experience, during my years of living in the marina, most of the shopping I did was not in the marina in their cool boutique shops, but actually in the Haight. In fact, anytime I had guests that would visit me from out of town, the one place where we would go brunch and shop was always in the Haight. Now, Golden Gate Park, which is a huge attraction and a major staple of San Francisco living and lifestyle, is right next to this neighborhood. Endless space for running, biking, hiking, picnicking. The Panhandle is also a well-known area for those long morning jogs. One of my favorite restaurants is in this neighborhood, Cuban cuisine, Cha Cha Cha. Now, there's a few locations in the city, but I've always loved this Haight location. If you're into local beers, Magnolia Brewing is in this area, and some of the best craft cocktails are served at the Alembic. As far as music goes, guys, there is a thriving music scene here. with small venues that are historic and well-known, such as the Independence. And then the Fillmore is just a short and quick Uber ride away. Now, in terms of walkability and safety, this neighborhood is highly walkable, so a lot of its residents, similar to so many of the others in San Francisco, having a car is not required. Getting to businesses and back to home, the amenities, the nightlife, whatever it is that you need to do, even the leisurely things of this neighborhood can all be done by foot. Now, crime was a concern in this neighborhood, particularly during the pandemic. And there are some areas that are still kind of working themselves out, but it has improved significantly since the city reopened just a few short years ago. But there is a strong community feel here, and you will sense it and realize it if you spend some time just walking around this neighborhood. Another fun fact, and this one is very important to me as an ice cream lover and an addict, it's time to admit and come clean with that, but the first Ben & Jerry's franchise opened outside of Vermont was in the Haight. And I'm not entirely sure if its current location is the original one, but I still frequent it every time I'm in the area. Okay, as far as public transportation and freeway access, the Haight is well connected to Oak and Fell Street, so getting to either the Bay Bridge to head east or the 101 North to get over the Golden Gate Bridge and head up to Marin, very easy to do. I will tell you, parking is probably the most extreme in this neighborhood above so many of the others. It's just so limited for space. And again, this is a major reason why many people are vehicleless. But if you've got a car and you want to have a parking spot, finding a place to rent or own with a garage is going to be huge for you if you can pull it off. As far as public transportation is concerned, the N Judah Muni line runs nearby, and you can connect to downtown in as little as 20 minutes, which is probably one of the best commutes you'll have in all of San Francisco from a neighborhood to that area of downtown. Several bus lines, 7, 43, and 33 also serve the area. But overall, guys, transportation-wise, in terms of walkability or using public transportation or just getting around, pretty easy to do in this neighborhood. Again, the only real downfall, like most of the neighborhoods, but again, it's really emphasized here in the Haight, is the lack of parking. One more quick fun fact, guys, about this neighborhood. The Red Victorian on Haight Street was once a peace-themed bed and breakfast area, which hosted some incredible communal dinners and historically significant philosophical discussions. So in summary, guys, living in the Haight is about embracing a relaxed lifestyle while fusing it together with a lot of culture, history, arts, music, and just an overall chill vibe. And while it does come with a high cost of living, it's still one of the most affordable neighborhoods to live in, whether it's to buy or rent, and can be an incredible alternative to some of the more pricey neighborhoods without sacrificing a lot, because again, you still have access to great outdoor space such as Golden Gate Park, like I mentioned. The nightlife and music scene is fantastic and super unique to San Francisco, and it is a very walkable neighborhood. But if you love that proximity to nature, the walkability, the arts and music, then this is a fantastic neighborhood to consider. So what do you guys think? Could you see yourself living in this neighborhood after listening to this video? And if you did live in San Francisco, did you live in the Haight? Did you miss out on an opportunity to live in the Haight? Please tell me your comments and feedback about whether you lived there, what you loved about it, what you didn't like about it, because you'll probably help somebody else who's watching this video with your comments. That's it for the Haight, guys. I'll bring you more neighborhoods about this area, and we'll also expand to some other parts of the Bay Area. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next neighborhood tour.